Now it's time to see who has the heart.
If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners.
This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
I know you're tired. I know you're hurting. And I wish I could say something that was classy and inspirational. But that just wouldn't be our style. Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Welcome to the Best of Tailgate Talk, where we go back into the archives and hear some of our special guests you may have missed the first time around. We'll be back with the Best of Tailgate Talk after this. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to Go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. The Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship has been set up to honor the legacy of Bama Zach Greene, a huge fan of the Crimson Tide along with Limestone County sports. The scholarship will go each year to a male and female athlete from Limestone County. Checks should be made out to Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship and can be sent in care of Garth Garris, 13833 Pinnacle Drive, Athens, Alabama, 35613. Donations can also be made in person at First State Bank of the South at 1319 Highway 72 East in Athens. Thank you for showing your support for local athletes by giving to the Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship. PASnetwork.net. It's now your gateway to the Play Action Sports Network. Whether it's Play Action sports coverage of school, youth, and amateur sports from Athens and Limestone County, or Calhoun basketball, James Clements sports, and Applebee's Tailgate Talk via PAS Plus. PASnetwork.net. Follow the links to download apps to hear live streams and podcasts, enable Alexa skills, or listen live on your computer. Covering Athens and Limestone County area sports, PASnetwork.net. Welcome to our first summer vacation edition of the Best of Tailgate Talk. I'm Tim Lambert. This week we have one of those hybrid shows. We start off with a couple of authors, one local and one not so much. First, we'll feature Mark McCarter, whose book Baseball in Huntsville came out fairly recently. Then we go clear to the West Coast and speak with Brad Balukjian about his traveling books, Wax Pack, On the Open Road in Search of Baseball's Afterlife, and The Six Pack, On the Open Road in Search of Wrestlemania. We then switch gears and bring you coverage from the Clements Lift-a-Thon, something you could previously only hear online. It was on Thursday, May 16th, so you'll hear some references to it being a Thursday. Before we get to all that, we want to remind you of our upcoming show next Saturday night from the Limestone County Sports Hall of Fame ceremonies, and then later on in July from Mud Volleyball for a Cure. So settle in. The Best of Tailgate Talk is coming up. P4 Therapy is an outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in northern Alabama and southern Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Home security is not what it used to be. With Secure Connect and smart home integration features, you can unlock your doors and turn off your alarm from your smart home app. No more hiding a key under a rock. Get Secure Connect and live life connected. Call Ardmore Telephone Company at 800-830-9946 to secure your home today.
While others have come and gone, the Lion's Den Gym has been roaring as a workout and exercise fixture in Athens, growing from its humble basement beginnings in 1981 to their current 10,000 square foot location at 212 Commercial Drive in Athens. The Lion's Den offers 24/7 access to their ever-expanding equipment collection that includes treadmills and climbers, elliptical trainers, stationary bikes, loose weights and dumbbells, and over 45 different weight machines. Contact the Lion's Den Gym about a membership today at 256-652-2627. Visit them online at lionsdengym.com or on Facebook. The Lions Den Gym, 256-652-2627. Now that you've got that new place on the water, BP Riverworks can finish the picture with a boathouse, dock, or seawall. Call Baron Pugh at 251-200-2273 or Tracer Pugh at 256-206-7097. BP Riverworks. Licensed and insured, 251-200-2273 or 256-206-7097. Tune in every Tuesday through Thursday this coming football season for the WKAC Coaches Shows. Join us as we get the scoop from Ardmore, Athens, Clements, East Limestone, Elkmont, James Clemens, Tanner, and West Limestone. The WKAC Coaches Shows on 1080 WKAC.
Hello, this is Calvin Smith, former world record holder in the 100 meters, 1984 and 88 Olympian, and former Alabama track athlete. And you're listening to Tailgate Talk.
Welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, ladies and gentlemen, live from Cars and Bikes on the Square here in Athens, Alabama. Applebee's Tailgate Talk. Tom McClung here, old Tomcat, alongside Todd the Bod, the talent himself, tumbling. Producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert, and Beanie's over there in the bullpen in case we need some, bring him out there for a closer or something. Right. Now, we've got on our calling guests coming in via First National Bank hotline, making communities great, Mr. Mark McCarter. Mark, thanks for joining us, brother.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. I wish I was over there on the square instead of actually having to work right now.
Man, they got...
You'd be loving it, buddy.
We got Rick James dropping bombs on people everywhere.
That's not Rick James. That's the Gap Band.
Is that the Gap Band? Yeah, Rick James is burning rubber on everybody somewhere, right?
No, that's the Gap Band.
Is that the Gap Band, too?
Same song.
Rick James was Super Freak.
Super Freak. Oh, okay. That was Clay Coleman.
That was Clay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll get it.
You would love it.
I lost a lot of brain cells in the 80s, Mark. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, tell us about you've got the baseball in Huntsville. Is this a book? Is it out now? Is it coming out?
It's out now. It's available at a lot of local bookstores. It's even in some drugstores on those racks that have a lot of local history books that come from the History Press, Arcadia Press out of Charleston, South Carolina, which published this. So, and if nobody can find them, I'm easy enough find on Facebook. Hit me with a DM, and we can work out a way to get one to you.
All right. Well, what led you to want to start writing this and get it out there? That's a really good idea. Really good.
Well, it's I blame it all on COVID. And I've been working on the shorten the story best I can. I've been commissioned to write a book on the Rocket City Trash Pandas and their arrival. Okay. And so I had this book all set to go, and I'd written it in context of the Trash Pandas arriving in the context of Huntsville's baseball history, the long history there, talking about the stars, talking about the old teams, but just trying to put historical context to it. So the book is written. It's all set to go. It's on the press. They're ready to hit the start button, and COVID hit. And as we know, that knocked out the very first season of the Trash Pandas.
Yep. I remember that, so, yes.
And the great word that year was pivot. So we made a pivot, decided that the Trash Pandas book would be, which is also out and available at the ballpark, called Pandemonium. It would just focus on the first season of the Trash Pandas with stories on players and what went on. Well, all of a sudden, though, I was left with about 25,000 words of Huntsville baseball history and anecdotes and stories about the famous major leaguers and baseball players who come out of Huntsville. Yeah. Well, that was basically just on the proverbial cutting room floor. So I reached out to the folks at History Press and said, I've got 25,000 words of baseball and Huntsville history. Can I send this to you? Are you interested? And they were interested and decided to go ahead and publish it. So it was a great way to salvage a lot of hours and hours and hours that I spent researching, reporting, and writing. And I thought really some fascinating stuff. I think Huntsville's baseball history is just, and I've told people, I said, you forget how much Huntsville and Decatur used to hate each other. And you go back into when they were similar sized cities playing the same league, and in like 1903, they're like arresting the Huntsville manager because he's just inciting a riot over in Decatur.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to be careful in Morgan County no matter what you do. You don't live there.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So it's but just through that ancient history, and then you get guys like that grew up here in Huntsville, had such an impact in the major leagues. You go from Craig Kimbrell, who right now is second in saves among all active pitchers. You go back to Jimmy Key, who had some spectacular years with the Yankees and Toronto, and certainly the Mr. Baseball in Huntsville, Don Mincher, who was such a dear friend of mine, and miss him every day. Guys like that, and then one of my favorite stories is there's a guy named Gabby Street, and Gabby was a catcher for the Senators way back in the day, and wound up managing the St. Louis Cardinals in the 30s. Grew up in Huntsville. And Gabby, and it may be on his tombstone somewhere, I don't know, but it probably had to be in the second line of the obit, was famous for being the first guy to catch a baseball dropped from the top of the Washington Monument.
Really?
Wow.
500. And a bar bet was involved. He was not among the bettors, but he was the guy that helped settle the bar bet between two guys in Washington, who one guy said it could be done, one said it couldn't.
That's awesome.
And so they coerced Gabby into standing there 538 feet below the window on a semi-windy day and trying to catch a baseball. And by the time it lands, it's traveling 150 miles an hour.
That's what I was going to ask. How fast is it going?
You misjudged that one. You kiss that one in the face, you're probably not waking up for a long time, if ever.
It took him 13 tries, and just because
that makes sense. Okay, it makes me feel better.
He gets in the wind. And a couple popped out of the glove, but he finally held on to one. The great footnote to that story is that did that one morning in Washington. That afternoon, he's in a game. He catches Walter Johnson for the Senators that afternoon, playing the Tigers. The only run the Tigers score that day is on a double steal, and the second baseman is throwing the ball back to home plate. and Gabby drops the throw from the second baseman.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Caught one from the Washington Monument, but couldn't hold on one to the second base.
Right. Couldn't catches one 538 feet from the top of the monument and can't haul one at 80 feet from the second baseman.
Oh, wow. Now,
And that sounds like something that would come either from a bar or from a college dorm room.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you said that Gabby Street – I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, two guys in a bar in Washington get an argument about this.
And
let's find somebody to catch it. Yeah,
you can't make that stuff up. That's awesome.
That's right.
So you said Gabby was the manager of the Cardinals in 1930 or 30s or what?
In the 30s. Yeah, in the 30s. He was there with the Gas House Gang.
Oh man, I don't remember.
In fact, he even brought his team, brought the Cardinals in to play an exhibition game here in Huntsville one year. So,
oh wow,
yeah, he was the toast of the town.
Yeah, that was my papa's team, man, and he would have known about all of that stuff because that was that was his team and his air.
Here's a great little thread to this. Gabby, after he got out of managing, perfect for his name, got into broadcasting.
Yeah,
and was broadcasting the Cardinals games on the radio, and he broke in this young kid broadcaster named Harry Carey.
Wow.
Oh.
Whose grandson is now what?
Josh is the voice of the Trash Pandas.
Josh.
Well, I mean, the whole
the Trash Pandas.
Generations of them sitting in the booth.
Yeah.
You know? Even Josh's son is now, what team is he with, Tom? Am I dreaming that? Maybe it's not his son.
Josh's
Chip's
brother.
It's his nephew.
Okay.
Yeah, Chip's son
I knew
is
there's
now
another one out there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just incredible.
Hey, I'm wearing my Trash Pandas hat with Josh's autograph on top. So
that is good.
He's a friend of the Tailgate Talk here.
He's an awesome guy.
You talked a little bit about Don Mincher. Without Don, there's not obviously the Stars, but there's not the Trash Pandas probably either.
Right.
I mean, based on how successful Don was able to make baseball in the city of Huntsville.
I think you're right.
About him.
Don was, first of all, a heck of a player. Was a two-time American League All-Star. Hit a home run off Don Drysdale in his very first World Series at bat. Just a good 12, 13-year career in the big leagues. Came home, worked in a trophy shop, just enjoying life. And in 1984, prior to the first year of the Huntsville Stars, he reaches out to Larry Schmitto, who was the Stars owner, and said, "Hey, Larry, you need some help." And Don was like, "Want me to be the official scorer? Want me to do the PA?" And Schmitto very wisely goes, "No, I want you to be my general manager."
Wow.
What a great decision.
Don running the front office and his name and personality and name recognition, all that was just awesome way for this team to start. And then led a group of people, put a group of people together to buy the Stars that kept them in Huntsville in the mid-'90s, and then eventually became president of the Southern League, at which time he had to sell his chunk of the team.
Yeah.
But Don was very proud of how many different things he did in baseball, and he did them all spectacularly well. I think it was so fitting. A year or two before he died, minor league baseball gave him the highest honor, which is called King of Baseball. With the crown and the scepter and all that. And
that's awesome.
And he certainly was. He's certainly King of Baseball here in Huntsville. And I appreciate what Ralph Nelson, the former president of the Trash Pandas, did, which was to make sure that Don was continually be remembered out there. Don's number is retired, number 5, and it's
there to be seen forever.
Up on the wall.
It is out there on the wall.
Yep. It's a perfect tribute for a wonderful guy and just just great friend.
Mark, if I'm not mistaken, some of the old minor league games were played out there at Optimus Park, just on the other side, right before you go up Chapman Mountain.
Nice.
My wife's granddaddy, Carlos Ramsey, 6'4", lefty. He played some minor league ball locally here. Every time they would go and drive by Glenn, Debbie's daddy would say, "Hey, my daddy pitched in that park right there." So,
they used Optimus Park a lot for exhibition games. When the big league teams would come in, that's where they would play. There was never every time a new team was created, say in 1903 and later in 1911 and then in 1930, there was never a great footprint built for a stadium. So they had ballparks various places around town, but nothing with the permanence that Optimus Park has had. And the Optimus Park has hosted some great teams. And, of course, it was is part of the baseball history. I include this in the book. A great part of Huntsville's baseball history and legacy are those old mill teams. Those guys, they would outdraw the minor league teams.
Yes.
Lincoln Mill against somebody else, and they'd have a bigger crowd than what the Huntsville Springers might be drawing across town.
Right.
And
I don't know.
Actually would beat the minor league team.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, the team that Grandpa Calder's played on, they beat the Alabama Crimson Tide when they came to town. And I think it was one of those minor league teams you're talking about. Yeah. One of the mill teams. So yeah.
Yeah.
Now
he just wouldn't leave town. He stayed with the family. He had a good piece of dirt. So,
did you cover any of the Negro League players or any of those teams?
Sure did. Yeah, particularly Dick Scruggs, who was still around. Bless his heart, he's been a great member of this community. But yeah, several of the guys that from here that played in the Negro Leagues that. And even one guy who had like a cup of coffee with him one day when one of his former teammates was raving to the Birmingham Black Barons manager. They were coming up here for a game. Oh, you got to see this guy pitch. You got to see him. And the guy shows up to watch the game, and the manager meets him and says, I hear a lot about you. Here you can pitch. And the guy goes, yeah, I can. Let me go to the car. Goes to his car where he had his spikes in his glove, pulls them out, puts them on. And actually pitches in one of the games here, just a one-shot deal. So, yeah, we had some big ties to that. To the we never had like the Birmingham or the Chattanooga Black Lookouts, things like that. But a lot of guys that went from here and played in the Negro Leagues, and they're still around. And thankfully, the Trash Pandas do a great job of honoring them every year in their history.
Yeah. Do you know how many teams came through Huntsville?
And how many different franchises?
I guess.
Yeah, there was one that was here. The first pro team was 1903, and it was here, struggled for 2 years, took another shot at one in not having the book in front of me, 1911, I'm pretty sure. Then it was really up to the mill league teams and brought another team back in 1930. And then nothing after that until the Stars in '85.
Oh wow!
It was interesting. Every time you would, in the research I was doing in old newspaper clippings, you'd see the same stuff that we hear now, even with the major pro sports and expansions. There was all this talk about we need a baseball team here because it's going to shine a bigger light on our community. It's going to make us seem bigger and better. It's going to be more attractive to people moving to town, and it's going to have great economic impact. Well, they were singing that same song in 1903 that you'll hear them sing right now, bringing the Oakland A's to Las Vegas. Just a bigger chorus.
So what you say the first team folded after a couple of years? What was the reason?
Primarily attendance.
Okay.
Attendance is just, they didn't draw spectacularly well. These were not great business models. This was, of course, well before the minor leagues were as organized as they are now, well before the whole farm system where, as things are set up now and have been for decades, where major league teams own the players, paid for the players, and all the local teams have to do is cover expenses, operating the ballpark and things like that, and some travel. Well, those days, guys who own the team, they wrote the check for everything. They wrote the check for salaries, for travel, for umpires, for equipment, uniforms, and it just was not a great economic model. And you'd see teams even fold in mid-season.
Oh, wow.
To get absorbed by somebody else.
Yeah.
It's just, there's a line I think I use in that book, or I've used somewhere else, and it's really applicable then. And I'll ask you guys a question. The best way to make a small fortune in minor league sports?
Start with a big fortune.
Start with a big fortune. Exactly right.
That's a NASCAR thing I've heard a time or two. Yes, sir.
Yep. And that happened. That happened several times in Huntsville. But heck, it happened with the Stars. The attendance dwindled, and an absentee owner who was a bit of a nightmare for this community and for me personally. Let things dwindle, but as Ralph Nelson said when he brought the Trash Pandas in, Ralph did tons of homework, and he recognized that teams that were very, very successful, how many times they were cities that were basically taking a mulligan. You look at the success Montgomery has with the Biscuits. Well, they had to lose baseball for a while when they lost the Rebels to Birmingham to appreciate it and bring it back. Greenville, South Carolina, another good example. Chattanooga was without a team for 10 years, from 66 to 76.
Oh, wow.
And it's thrived. So the success stories have been places where people kind of wake up and realize they didn't know what they had till it was gone, and they have so welcomed a new franchise, especially a franchise that like what Garrett and Lindsay are doing now with the Trash Pandas. Everything's so fresh and vibrant and fun, and it's well accepted. That's been a great formula, and it finally happened here.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job of getting into the community and doing community things like the fairs there right now, and they have all kinds of the Christmas stuff, and they're always having something going on to bring people to the stadium that's not even baseball related. So those kind of interactions obviously help a lot too, because it shows you that the organization cares about the community that they're playing in. So
it does show they care, and it does sort of fulfill their pledge to the city of Madison. Which is, let's build this stadium, and we promise we're not building this stadium for 70 nights a year. We're building this for 365 days a year.
Yeah, and they fulfilled that.
Done a beautiful job. Exactly.
And I'm tickled to finally see Joe Davis Stadium getting live
back in it.
It was
Huntsville football club.
Soccer. Obviously not baseball, which that's what we all grew up on watching. But at least there's something there now, and it's not going to just sitting there collecting dust.
Agreed. It's fun. I live not far from the stadium, and it's so cool to drive by and see it filled and see the lights on, and got so many memories from so many nights at that park covering baseball. And I think I can confess I'm probably not the world's biggest soccer fan.
No,
but I love the fact that Huntsville has another entertainment option, like this football club. I love what they were able to do. All the attaboys in the world to John Hamilton, who's Huntsville city administrator. John, I remember John when I was still at the Huntsville Times coming down, and we were sitting at my desk one day, and he's laying out the plans. We're going to, by December of, roll it back, 2014, I guess it was, 2014 or 15. The stadium's going to be under the wrecking ball. And John realized, hey, why have another empty lot sitting along South Parkway? Let's wait and see how it gets developed. And when the pro soccer team started reaching out to Huntsville, probably 8 years ago or so, making their overtures, it was like, we can do this, and we got a place to put you. And obviously there was a much needed facelift at Joe Davis, but glad it happened.
Yeah.
Well, we are too. Mark, thank you so much for joining us. We're out of time, buddy, and don't be a stranger. Come back.
Yeah, we'll have to have you back on. It's been a great conversation.
Guys, anytime, love to, and just tell again, Mark McCarter on Facebook. DM me if you like a book, or look for them around town.
Look for my friend request. It's there. So,
all right, good deal. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
Man.
Bye. Thanks. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was our special guest segment sponsored by Yellowhammer Roofing. Mark McCarter, book Baseball in Huntsville. Also, works with University of Alabama Huntsville. It's time to take a break. We're still live here on the Square. Come see us. We'll be right back. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talking to be a KAC, the Big 1080.
Bring a little caffeination inspiration to your next event with Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens. Turn up the heat in these cooler months with their signature products, including a full coffee menu, white chocolate mocha, lattes, frappes, energy drinks, lemonades, and teas. Travelin' Tom serves events of any size, concerts, neighborhood block parties, high school football games, you name it. Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens is sure to make any event a little sweeter. Visit Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens on Facebook or call them at 434-1734. Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens.
Limestone Drug, located on the Square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens. Your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State Hometown Team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
For screen printing, sign printing, banners, logo design, and more, look no further than That Shirt Printing Place. Located at 709 North Jefferson Street in Athens. Call 256-444-1827. That Shirt Printing Place. Visit them online at thatshirtprintingplacellc.com. Look for them on Facebook too. That Shirt Printing Place. 256-444-1927. That Shirt Printing Place.
School may be out, but you can still enter your nominations for the Applebee's Athlete of the Week over the summer for the upcoming school year. Just go to tailgatetalk.net and fill out the form. While you're there, check out the Tailgate Talk archives and see what you might have missed. That's the Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. Enter your nominations today. From Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Tailgate Talk, and 1080 WKAC.
Hey, this is East Limestone Girls basketball coach Jessica Thompson, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Tom McClung here, old Tomcat, alongside Coach Clint Legg, Todd the Bod, the Talent, Tomlin, and we are taking a call here on the special guest segment sponsored by Yellowhammer Roofing. Baseball cards and wrestling is kind of what we're calling it here, and hoping for our special guest can clear us up on these topics. Brad Balukjian is joining us right now. Coach, Brad, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Hey, sweet.
Before we get started. Okay, this guy is a professor.
Okay.
He's got a PhD, so let's act like we've got some education about us.
Yeah.
So,
really? we got. I'm not doubting him. We got to act like we got.
We got to act like we got some kind of smart.
You're in the wrong group, Doc, to be talking to us uneducated folks. We'll do the best we can to keep it real. Well, thanks for joining us, man. Like we've been saying, you got the wrestling, the baseball. I'm more interested in the wrestling myself. But
I'll take the baseball.
Yeah, we'll start with you, Tom.
Todd, take the.
The newest thing is the wrestling.
Yeah.
So
let's start with the newest thing.
Yeah.
Todd.
Okay.
Brad, Doc, tell us what it's all about, buddy. The 6-pack on the open road in search of Wrestlemania.
Yeah, I'm all about life in like 1989. You know, I'm 43 years old now, and I grew up loving baseball cards and wrestling figures. And like a lot of us that are in our 40s, 50s now, I always wanted to find a way to write about the things that I loved when I was a kid. So this new book, The 6-Pack, is about my 12,525-mile road trip I took all over the country a couple of years ago to find Hulk Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter and the Iron Sheik and Tito Santana and all these guys that were the big stars in the 80s, specifically the Iron Sheik, because I actually have a backstory with him where I had become friends with him, and years ago had left my job at a magazine to go collaborate with him on a biography, and it all went to hell pretty fast. He was not in any state to work on a project like that, but this book was a chance to go back on the road and try to reunite with him 17 years later. And so,
wow.
The first line of the book is "The Iron Sheik just threatened to kill me," and it's from 2005 when I was in his living room and things went a little sideways. But
wow.
Yeah.
That is an amazing story, and I loved the Iron Sheik growing up. Well, I didn't love him, of course.
Well, he was a good heel.
He was a huge.
He had to be a good heel.
Hey,
being a Sheik.
What have I missed?
Oh yeah, we're straight up. Yeah, Coach Legg was serving us right now.
Time.
Listen, dude.
Bama Zach had all these wrestling figures that I got. The ones that I kept that I didn't give to Jay's boys was John Studd.
Oh, yeah.
My
Big
guy
John
besides
Studd.
Ric Flair.
Big John Studd, yeah.
And the Iron Sheik.
Nice. You got to hold on to those.
Well, then you'll really appreciate that on the cover of the book are 3 of those action figures that I had as a kid. And it's Hulk Hogan and Iron Sheik and Tito Santana all on the cover. Those rubber action figures.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 43.
He's 43.
So I'm 58, and my wife tells me every day, you got to grow up. Quit watching that wrestling.
Why?
Well, you can tell your wife that I'm making a living out of ever growing up, because my first book was about the road trip to track down all the players in a pack of baseball cards from 1986, and this book is about tracking down all these wrestlers from the 80s. So pretty much like mining my childhood for what I want to write about.
That is phenomenal that you're getting to live out that, man.
Did you ever get to meet the JYD, Junkyard Dog? Because he was one of my top favorites back then.
No. So his real name was Sylvester Ritter, and tragically he died a long time ago.
Yes,
he had died in a car accident.
Probably high and drunk or in between.
It was back in like the early 90s, I think, when he died.
Yeah. Do you ever watch any of the Dark Side of the Ring or any of those shows on passing the biographies and all those?
I'm streaming on the A&E wrestling biographies right now.
Yeah, no, they've done a good job with those. They really get into the backstory, so I definitely like to watch those. I like to say my book is kind of the literary equivalent of that stuff, because it's like you go out and I'm on the road and I'm describing what it's like to work out with Tony Atlas or to sit across from Demolition Axe to be in, And also, I went on the road and I went to all these guys where they grew up. So I went down to Mission, Texas, and Brownsville, Pennsylvania. So Mission, Texas is where Tito Santana grew up. Eden Prairie, Minnesota is where Sergeant Slaughter grew up. And I tried to find their high school coaches and their friends.
Oh, wow.
And, Hulk Hogan's from Port Tampa, Florida, and he got his start wrestling. I mean, early on, he wrestled in Alabama and some of the southern territories down there that were run by the Fullers.
Yep.
And I was able to find the people that knew him before he was Hulk Hogan, when he was in a rock band and he would tour the Southeast. He was in a band called Ruckus. And
Ruckus.
Tour all around the Southeast.
Wow. I got a story when you get a second, Doc, on that Ruckus band, but you go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm also an entertainer. I'm a musician, and I've had taken my guitar down on a business trip down to Juno Beach, Florida, and was playing there at the Fish House just because folks on it wouldn't pay him anything, nothing. So this guy sits at the bar, because I'm right there at it, and starts listening to me. And we just have a good time. I didn't know who he was. He said, "I'll be right back." Goes out to his car and gets a laminated picture of a group of 5 musicians with pump shotguns, and Terry Bollea is standing there with his pump shotgun and blonde hair. It's Hulk Hogan, and this guy's the keyboard player for the band Ruckus.
I think I had seen that. There's a band called Bandit that he was in, and I've seen a promo picture with the shotgun.
So it was Bandit, not Ruckus.
And it might have been Terry Bollea. Yeah, that might have been the Bandit picture.
It was still cool.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Yeah, those early 70s pictures of Hogan and Terry Bollea, they're like little time capsules.
Yeah. Now, has this book been released yet?
It comes out on Tuesday.
Awesome. Amazon,
So
or like where can everybody
it'll be, you can get it on your local bookstore, Amazon, anywhere you can get books. Get it online, and I'll be at Wrestlemania this coming week in Philadelphia. So
you going for the whole week or just the 2 days?
Yeah, I'm gonna go celebrate the whole week out there.
Good for you, man.
It'll be fun.
That's going to be great, man. I wish you'd take me with you, dude. I gave my number off there. You can hook me up.
Guys, there's not a better era to me, man, because this is when I grew up. I'd get up on Saturday mornings and watch Continental Wrestling. And then I would watch. I had to sneak to watch it because my dad hated it. Well, I'd go to a friend's house. We didn't have cable and watch World Championship Wrestling, 505 Superstation.
That's right.
That was Georgia, yeah.
That's right. And then we'd watch a little UWF on Friday nights from Channel 15, Georgia, with people like the One Man Gang.
They had a lot of good wrestlers in UWF.
Missy Hyatt was there when I was Eddie Gilbert. I loved that, man.
Right, I think I think Mid-South became UWF.
It did.
Those are all great territories back then.
Yeah, until old Vince bought them all up and
monopolized the entire business.
Well, and you'll appreciate in the book I get into the story. Like, I actually tracked down a bunch of people that worked for Vince right when he took over the company that had never spoken on the record before about how he went in there and took over, and how he made that happen. And a lot of these guys I wrote about, they got their start wrestling in Mid-Atlantic and Florida and Georgia and Houston, Alabama. So a lot of them, their early years were all about being in those territories.
What were their thoughts on, and I'm sure Vince probably did a few ruthless things to combine all those territories together, basically putting them out of business. But, back in the day, they could wrestle 3-4 times a week going into different territories. The same match against the same opponent, but, you're in a different territory. So, those fans didn't know, all that was going on. And, of course, kayfabe was so big back then. Obviously, now with social media, everybody knows everything. But did those wrestlers, because it kind of essentially maybe put some of the lower level guys or mid card guys out of work, buying up all the territories and putting them under one umbrella.
Yeah, in the long run, it probably wasn't good for, the overall wrestling business to just have one main company. I think, but at the time, these guys, they couldn't resist the offer, right? Because here's this guy coming in and he's offering, good money. And so they were getting paid, and they were getting merchandise, and they were having, their action figures. So everyone wanted in on it. The thing was that the schedule was just so insane that a lot of them burned out pretty quickly, because now they go from wrestling 3 or 4 nights a week, and they're on, road trips, and now they're flying all over the country every day and wrestling every night and on the road for, 20, 30 days at a time. And so it was just an unsustainable schedule for a lot of them, and some of them weren't able to last very long. And the ones that were, so many of them got addicted to all the drugs and the lifestyle, and it was so it was a trade-off, right? That fame brought a lot of consequences.
Well, let's swap it over to baseball and talk about that experience. Was it 1986? Is that the box of cards you had? Is that right, that season?
Yeah, I got a pack of 86 Topps cards. So I grew up collecting baseball cards, and I thought it'd be neat to get a pack that had never been opened from my childhood, and then go on the road and whoever's in that pack, go track them down and kind of tell the story of, what happened to these baseball players all these years later.
How long of a project was that? Because that sounds like a lot of work.
Well, I did about a year of research to set it up, and then I took just one summer and I drove 7 weeks, like over 11,000 miles.
Wow!
But it turned out to be just an incredible thing, because just like the wrestling book, like these books are really about who these guys are as people. What the humanity of baseball players or wrestlers, and so getting to. And you realize how much we all have in common with them. They deal with the same things that we deal with. Of course, they had a little more fame than we did, but it's just kind of. I think it brings you closer to them when you realize the kind of commonality we have with them.
Yeah.
So this was your idea to go out and find all these So, did you curse yourself before things were all said and done? Think, what in the world was I thinking?
No, well, I mean, it was definitely a risky project. I went on the road and I didn't have a book contract or anything, but I just had this very specific idea, and I believed that it would turn into a good story. And so it took a long time to get it published and everything, but then it paid off because it ended up, doing really well and was a bestseller and all that. So I felt it was worth it in the end.
Who would you say was your best interview in the wax pack of that trip?
I would say, let me think. There's a guy named Rick Sutcliffe who was a pitcher for the Cubs and the Indians back in the 80s.
Oh, yeah,
and,
I remember Cubs.
Remember?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he was. He's still a broadcaster, and he took me all around outside of where he grew up in Independence, Missouri, and he really opened up and told me about his dad was a race car driver that ran off on the family and how that affected him and how he ended up, becoming. It's funny. He told me a funny story when he got drafted by the Dodgers. I think his grandmother called him up at work, and she said, "Hey, Rick, you got drafted," and he was like, "Oh."
He probably thought it was a war.
He was thinking he was going to Vietnam, and she said, "No, it's the Los Angeles Dodgers, not the draft Dodgers." Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
He did bad poop.
So different times. Nowadays, like the draft is televised, and back then he was like scooping bales of hay at his job or unloading a truck, and his grandma called. It's a whole different time back then.
Yeah, far from those $120 million a year contracts and
right.
and $150,000 up front for a 16-year-old signing bonus. For 16, 17-year-olds in high school and
right.
stuff. It's crazy the amount of money that all these athletes across the board make. But who was probably your favorite, I guess, out of the bunch?
Well, I was a weird kid in that my favorite players growing up were not the stars. Like I liked the guys that were more the bench warmers. So there was a guy named Don Carmen who pitched for the Phillies back in the 80s who was my favorite player. And he was in the pack, and he ended up being like an absolute, he was the highlight for me probably because he just a really interesting guy. Like he's actually got his master's degree in psychology, and he's now, his job is to be the psychologist for Scott Boras, the agent.
Oh wow!
Not for Scott personally, but for Scott's client. So if like Bryce Harper, goes into a slump, he goes off to fly whatever city Bryce Harper is at, and he goes to his hotel room and he works with him.
What a sweet gig that is!
Absolutely.
Yeah, so he's, very few baseball players go on and do, get master's degrees and PhDs and all that, but he was a different kind of cat, and he's done really well with it.
Sounds like it, obviously. Now, how many players did you end up interviewing? Speaking with?
Well, there were 14 players in the pack. One of them had passed away, so there's a guy named Al Cowan. So for him, I went over to Compton in L.A. where he grew up and met up with his son and his cousin. But the other 13, I got to spend time with 9 of them, and then I got to there were a couple that didn't talk to me, like Dwight Gooden. And Carlton Fisk, but for those chapters, I still was able to write a good chapter about them because I actually was in Dwight Gooden's living room interviewing his son, and he didn't show up. He no-showed our interview because he was in the middle of a relapse.
Wow!
Oh wow!
And so I wrote about that whole experience of it kind of surreal to be in Dwight Gooden's house and him not be there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then
that was
particularly for the reason he wasn't there too.
Right.
Yeah, an interesting thing to be able to describe and, to write about.
So if this is an unopened pack, how do you know who was in there?
Yeah.
No, you didn't?
Well, I did. That was the whole point.
That was the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to wrap my head around.
No, so the whole point was to have that randomness, right? Like, okay, whoever's in here, these are the guys I'm going to go find.
I mean, you had to open it at some point.
I'm curious. How many miles did you say you drove?
11,000.
11,000. and you're talking in the 80s. What kind of vehicle did you drive that would go 11,000 miles? Unless it was one of the early Hondas.
Yeah, well, if you want to talk about curses, I think I cursed it was a Honda, yeah. It was a Honda Accord that ended up, I think it had 250,000 miles when all was said and done, when I got rid of it.
Those things, a buddy of mine had a Honda Civic, a 1984 Honda Civic. That thing sounded like a sewing machine when he cranked it up, but it'd run forever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a CRV that went, I don't know how many, 300,000 miles, I think, before it finally decided to give up the ghost.
Yeah, but 1983?
No, this is a 2000.
Okay, yeah, 1980. I'm talking about 1986 because I knew that.
Hondas would still run forever.
Those 86 Monte Carlos wouldn't go that far.
I should have gotten sponsored by Honda. That would have been smart.
There you go.
Yep.
But this time around, I was in a Ford, and that it held up pretty well, but still not exactly a luxurious 2012 Ford Fusion for this road trip.
I got you. I drive an 18 Fusion, so it's okay. It'll get you there.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, so both these books were obviously a labor of love. Did you after the experience was over, and now you can look back? Did you enjoy one experience over the other equally?
I think your first time is always memorable in life, right? Even no matter what the experience. Yeah. So I think that will always be special. The second book, though, the wrestling book, I was able to go a little bit deeper on some of these subjects and uncovered a lot of new ground in wrestling history. So that I'm really proud of that.
Yeah,
you probably learned some things from the first time around to do or not do.
Yeah.
That's exactly. Yeah, you learn a little bit of the ways of the road.
Did you get to sit down with Sergeant Slaughter?
Well, I didn't. So Slaughter, he wouldn't talk to me, but then it was weird because what ended up happening is I ended up going to the Iron Sheik's private funeral when he passed away unexpectedly.
Yeah.
And who ends up showing up there? The only wrestling guy to show up was Sergeant Slaughter.
No way.
I did get to see him there. Yeah.
That was the only wrestler that showed?
Yeah.
That is
sad.
It was quick.
It was a sudden thing, and it was private. It wasn't
open.
Wasn't announced or anything. So
well, he follows me on X, so I can hook you up if I tell people that. Of course, if you follow him, he'll follow you back. That's all you got to do. So.
No, that's the funny thing is he follows me, but he wouldn't talk to me. So I don't think it's him directly managing that account.
I'm sure it's not. And you can just tell by some of the things being said that it's not.
It's probably his agent doing it,
absolutely. Or a lot of people have, not a team per se, but, social media coordinators at this point,
Right.
So I don't think a 70-something-year-old man's out there floating around on X and Facebook.
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. We had one for 4 years that was on Twitter for a while.
No, I thought you were speaking of yourself.
Oh, no.
That was the funny thing about the Iron Sheik was he got so famous for Twitter, but it was never actually him writing those things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But it was hilarious. I still follow him every now and then. There's still a post here or there, but oh my gosh, those were so funny. I don't know who was doing them, but hilarious.
No, yeah, his agents did, and they were able to capture his voice really well.
And every night he had to tell Hogan, good night in a certain way.
He still
right.
He still lost the belt in a wrong kind of way in the early 80s to Hogan because Joey Morella, the referee, was Hulk Hogan's cousin. That's what he used to say.
That's what he used to say.
That's right. Even though Joey Morella wasn't even the referee. But
that's what he used to say.
So, have you gotten any ideas for maybe another book like this down the road?
Well, I'm kind of going through my head with what did I like to do when I was 6 years old? Because that seems to be the theme. So maybe something with another sport. I love ice hockey and football, and so we'll see. I need a little breathing room before the next one because these things take years off your life. But I'm sure I'll figure something out.
Well, I follow a guy on Instagram, and he does videos of the old Evel Knievel, wind them up.
Oh, yeah.
Jumps.
Yeah.
He's jumped.
Oh, yeah.
Best toy ever,
man. He puts, he's even put a GoPro, not a GoPro, but a small camera on on Evil as he's up slow motion in the air. So, Doc, Brad Balukjian, author of, I got it, and I let my screen, there we go, author of the Wax Pack, On the Road in Search of Baseball's Afterlife, and the Six Pack, On the Road, I can't read, on the open road in search of Wrestlemania. Well, first thing, Brad, safe travels. It's a crazy road. It's a different road than it used to be in 1986. So I'm sure you know that.
Yeah.
It's crazy out there.
And thanks so much for coming on, man. This has been a great conversation. And two of our favorite subjects are baseball, and obviously one of mine is wrestling.
Yes.
Coach Legg and Tom loves it too. But
we like it.
Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate you having me on, and people can come check me out at thebradpack.com. I'll have a lot more info up there. So, thanks for having me on.
And that's PACK, right?
That's right.
All right.
Awesome. Check it out, man.
All right. Thanks a lot, Doc. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right, buddy.
Thanks.
Brad Balukjian, ladies and gentlemen. Bradpack.com. Check them books out.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State Hometown Team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
If your place on the water needs some attention, call BP Riverworks. Boathouses, docks, seawalls, and repairs. Call Baron Pugh at 251-200-2273 or Tracer Pugh at 256-206-7097. BP Riverworks. Licensed and insured, 251-200-2273 or 256-206-7097.
Second 11 from the 31. Two receivers right, three left. Back to throw. He throws across the middle. Touchdown!
Join us this football season for Limestone County football, streamed right to your computer or mobile device on the Play Action Sports app. You can also hear it on your Amazon Echo by saying, Alexa, open Play Action Sports. Listen for the replay of select games Sunday afternoons on WKAC and download each game from the archives anytime you want. Also available on all major podcast platforms and in the podcast section of the Play Action Sports app. Limestone County football from Play Action Sports and 1080 WKAC.
Hey, this is West Limestone Boys basketball coach Justin Taylor, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Welcome back here at Applebee's Tailgate Talk. Clements High School, MT Newman Stadium, the Clements High School. This is probably the fourth time we've done this, Tim. It keeps getting better and better every year, and hopefully it keeps on getting better here. But, man, I am so pleased to bring to you guys and let Tim ask some questions to a guy. Hey, Tim, this is pretty cool. I didn't tell him that inside, because if I told him this inside, I'd probably get choked up. But this is pretty cool. I was there to see Brick. I was there to see Brick when he was born. Brick was there to see my daughter when she was born. I don't know if I'll make it any further than that, but that's as far as I can go right now with it. But it's been pretty cool. And, man, Clements is in for a treat with this guy. We can't wait for him to get started. I'm so proud to have him here at Clements for our kids. Here he is, Coach Brick Pugh.
So, what are your plans?
Well, I want to.
Other than win games.
Win games would be.
How are you going to do it?
We're going to start in the weight room. That's big for me and this program. And just, get the mentality changed to a winning football program, and one that's not okay with losing and not okay with being average. That's what I told him in there, and I meant that. So, for me, that's what we're about here at Clements. So.
We got to get started, man. I mean, we're running late, Tim. I mean, he's coming in here now. It's the end of May, and a lot of people, like tonight, several teams like East and Tanner, they're all having spring games, and we're still waiting to get started here at Clements. So we're behind, but we're going to catch up, and we'll be there soon. So that'll be it in a nutshell. I know, Coach, like I said, he's going to hit the ground running. Coach, a little plans for. You want to go ahead and share some of the plans for this summer and the workouts for this summer?
So, yeah, we're going to do, Monday through Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, being the lifting and the running, and then a little bit of install after we get done with that. And then Wednesday is just going to be straight football. So we'll do offense and defense and a special team each Wednesday of the month. And then we're going to take July 4th week off. And for the guys who miss some workouts, that'll be an opportunity for them to make up some there. And we'll just hit the ball running there, too, in July right after that first week, and do the same thing we did in June until we get to put the pads on July 29th, I think it is. So should be a good deal for us.
Awesome. I know hitting the ground running here is going to be it's tough, man, but next week hopefully we can get in here and get some evaluations done, check these guys out, and see what we can do, and share with us, man, what your plans are offensively and defensively and all this. Share with that with the folks that they're listening to us.
So offense, we're going to do a little single wing out of the shotgun. Just really try to do a little smash mouth football, running down people's throats. That's what I'm about. I think it'll be good for us here. Defensively, Bobby Earl, he's going to be our defensive coordinator, and he's going to run a 3-4. So hopefully we can do that and blitz a little bit and cause some destruction in there defensively and get us the opportunity to score some more points.
Absolutely.
So where's how much have you picked up from older guys? Well, your dad, Cody Gross, places you've been.
So I couldn't have got it any better from the coaches. I'm very fortunate to who I've been around. My dad in high school, he was a great double wing coach, just different style of offense. Then I went to college with Hal Mummy, and complete change. We threw the ball every play. He invented the air raid offense, so I know a little bit about that. And then going to Coach Gross, just the way he runs his program, what he does offensively, so smart, fundraising and all that kind of stuff. Just it's really helped me get to where I am right now.
Yeah. He's been really good with those, with the players and the parents too. Over there at Athens. Now, Savanna, how much of a taste have you gotten of what you're about to jump into?
I feel like I got through in the fire pretty early on in this relationship, so I'm ready. I'm excited to see it all happen.
Tim, let me tell you something about Savanna. We were talking about Dominique playing for Ardmore, and there's a couple more of our guys here. Hayden Durrett, who was an all-state football player for me. And let me tell you this. Cody Reed, I'll go through the list of Ardmore guys. Tell me there's not a one of them up there that I would put up against that Savanna couldn't outrun them with these high heel shoes. She's an athlete too, and man, we're glad to have her. And she's going to be a huge support, and that's what it takes, man. You can't coach football, you can't do what you do, and I got a good one at my house sometimes. No, I got a good one, man. It's very supportive, and you gotta be that, because sometimes you're home at 8, sometimes you're home at 9, sometimes you're home whenever. So you always got to keep in mind that a lot of times that these guys here, especially Clements High School, Brick had a great dad, so does Savanna, but some of these guys here don't have one at all, and we got to fill that void and be there for them, and they need us.
So, Clint said y'all are getting new uniforms?
Yeah, but we're gonna get a set, and they're fairly expensive. And like I said, man, but Tim, we're so far behind when it comes. We need new weight room stuff. We need new shoulder pads. We need new helmets and something. We're just gonna be a continuous fundraiser for us until we feel like we can get it. Soon we're going to do. I hope to do another one here soon, but soon we're going to sell. I got a parent on this already. We've made a really good money on selling Swamp Johns. And Swamp Johns has been real good to Clements, and we set up. People come by the plates, and it's a great fundraiser for us. It's pretty simple, pretty easy done, and I'm sure I'll be letting KAC know about that here pretty soon.
So, as far as the uniforms go, you don't know. Do you know what they're going to look like?
Absolutely.
Okay. So have you done a reveal to the team yet? Okay.
Yeah, we revealed them, and that's one reason why they've been at workouts every day and fired up about it.
Oh, okay.
When you put the Nike swoosh on them, man, something about it makes everybody play harder. Everybody looks good. Everybody fit. I think look good, play good, man. That's always been no matter what it is or how much it's going. We're going to figure that out. But absolutely, they saw it. I let them kind of put into it, and they're all excited and fired up about it. And we just got to get going with the money, and we'll be fine.
So, as far as what little you've seen of your team, what's your impression?
Man, they've impressed me out here. I just saw somebody hit a 405 on squat over there. That's pretty good. I think he was in 10th grade too.
They could pick me.
Fires me up a little bit. That's right. But it looks like they're working hard, man, and that's all that matters to me.
Yeah,
they're already working hard, and what we're going to do in the weight room, and they're fired up out here, man. And that lights a fire under me. So
yeah, this is a lift-a-thon here, and you need strength and all that. But is there? I don't know. I mean, you're dealt with the hand. I mean, you get the hand that you're dealt as far as players go. So, what do you think you might be relying on? I mean, more strength, more speed,
I think it really comes down to effort.
Okay.
If you don't have any effort, you can't play for me. If you're not 100% out there, you're not playing for me. So I don't care if you're the strongest or the weakest on the team. If you give me 100% and I know that you'll lay it all on the line for the team, you're going to play.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, certain schemes lend themselves to one or the other.
And two, man, he still, he saw them, but, man, when you get them out there and you run them a little bit and you see how they can move and see what you need to do, that's why when I interview people, I don't want them to tell me, hey, man, what is your offense? Well, we're going to run the spread here. Okay, well, if we ain't got but 3 receivers, you're not going to run the spread. The answer should be we're going to do what our kids allow us to do. And we, like I said, but the positive thing here is we've got a lot of young dudes, and Brick's met a lot of the young ones. We don't have a lot of older players. We still got players like the one standing right here in front of us. There's 2 standing on the fence in front of us that should be playing football that's not playing football. They've got to get out for football, and that's it in a nutshell.
And I was going to ask you what the composition or the class division looked like. I mean, what you say you didn't have many older players, but
not a lot. I think we're going to have about 3 or 4 seniors, and the rest of these dudes are really young ones. The kid over there that's going to squat about 550, he's a 8th grade. He's a 9th grader right now, so he's a big, strong kid, and the majority of them are young kids. So that's good for Brick, and they'll be able to build it as we go here.
Well, now, have you gotten any ideas other than plays or offensive, defensive scheme, whatever, any maybe off the field ideas that you're wanting to kind of bring in?
So like he said, I got to see him a little bit because I hadn't got to see him do anything yet. But I just want to, see what they got, see how strong I can get them, and, see what their ability is for what we're going to run on offense.
Well, I mean, sometimes you bring in these kind of peripheral things, like Cody's got some of his things that he does with the team, off the field and not even pertaining to training or weightlifting or anything like that. So, I mean, I figure you probably got something brewing, that you want to try. So
we're going to definitely do more. We're going to definitely do more since we're down here in the community. And we got Coach Moore, who's got a swimming pool. It's about the size of a hold on. I'm kind of getting distracted here by watching
right
it.
here.
He's going to get it. Watch this. Watch how easy.
What's he trying over there?
That was about 500. He can tell you more about that. 505, 550.
Yeah, I think it's 550. I can't see the side very good.
Hey, man, ain't living right, Tim. Got to live right to do 550, man. Got to live right to do 550.
Yeah, and, we talked about some of the other things that you do with your team. I mean, they've been going out on the river and having a thing, at Coach Parker's place on the river. So, and that's kind of the thing I was talking about, if maybe you had any bonding, I guess
so we're going to grill for the players like he was talking about at Coach Moore's house. He's got a big pool that it's one of the biggest pools I've ever seen at somebody's house, to be honest with you. But we're going to grill out for them there as much as we can, have a end of the summer party for or I guess you call it a party, just a grill out for making it through the summer and getting ready for the start of the season.
I've seen your schedule for next year, but I don't remember offhand. Do you have one of those?
I got
one of those jamboree type games to start everything.
Yes, we do. The jamboree week is actually before week 0, and actually, I'm glad you said that because today, about 8:00 this morning, I get a phone call from Waterloo, that's who Coach Parker scheduled for our last game, week 10, and they called to let me know that they're no longer wanting to play us. And I asked him why, and he goes, "Because we just, we're a 1A school, didn't want to play a big 3A school." I said, "Well, you're wrong, brother, because we're not a big 3A school yet." And I said, "I think it'll be a good game. We need to gate a senior night." So now we're scrambling to find either a week 0 we have open or a week 10. And when it comes to that, what I'm saying is we have a jamboree week at Lexington, and we still need to go over the rules of that. We'll have a week off, and then we come back here and play Ardmore the first week of the season.
So let's see. I've lost count of the reclassification years. Is this
this was the first
a new one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So any changes in the region?
A few. Let me get to that. I'll read that to you. It's a few changes, man. I mean, like they brought in Rogers, Rogers over there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And we play them at home. But our schedule is this. First, 8:30, which is August 30, we play Ardmore at home. Then we play Colbert Heights, another region game at home. Rogers at home. Elkmont, a region game away. Tanner away. And then we get into the meat of it with Lauderdale County, Colbert County, Sheffield, Mars Hill, and we hadn't really we got to find another week there. But it's pretty good when you got to go play. At the end of the season, man, at the end of the day, me and Brick's already talked about this. Mars Hill, really tough to play them when they know when they're a 3A school, Tim. But we've got 70 players out there. They can tell that's just something pretty different.
Is that one here?
It's Mars Hill will be over there.
Oh,
yeah, it's there.
Oh boy, got to go across the river.
Yes, sir. But at least the field's nice. It'll be a nice place to play. And then, like I said, we'll be ready to go over there and play. We'll be ready to go by that time. Yeah. Listen, man. Thanks, Coach Pugh. Thanks, Savanna. And we'll be back shortly. This is Applebee's Tailgate Talk. Thank you.
Hear Applebee's Tailgate Talk anywhere you go by downloading the PAS Plus app for your Android or iPhone. We'll be back with more after this. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens, Highway 72 West, just off I-65. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. One of your favorite teams is sure to be playing on the big screen, too. See you tomorrow at Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 Athens, just off I-65. While others have come and gone, the Lions Den Gym has been roaring as a workout and exercise fixture in Athens, growing from its humble basement beginnings in 1981 to their current 10,000 square foot location at 212 Commercial Drive in Athens. The Lions Den offers 24/7 access to their ever-expanding equipment collection that includes treadmills and climbers, elliptical trainers, stationary bikes, loose weights and dumbbells, and over 45 different weight machines. Contact the Lions Den Gym about a membership today at 256-652-2627. Visit them online at lionsdengym.com or on Facebook. The Lions Den Gym, 256-652-2627. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right.
Home security is not what it used to be. With Secure Connect and smart home integration features, you can unlock your doors and turn off your alarm from your smart home app. No more hiding a key under a rock. Get Secure Connect and live life connected. Call Ardmore Telephone Company at 800-830-9946 to secure your home today.
P4 Therapy is an outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in northern Alabama and southern Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Keep up with local school, travel, youth, and amateur sports throughout the week with the Play Action Sports Update. Listen weekday mornings at 7:30 and weekday afternoons at 1:30 and 3:30 as we bring you the latest scores, news, and announcements from Limestone County and surrounding communities. That's the Play Action Sports Update 3 times a day, Monday through Friday on 1080 WKAC.
Hi, this is former University of Alabama wide receiver Tim Boyd, and you are listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Good evening now, right, Tim? Rocking into late night hours here. Applebee's Tailgate Talk, Clements Lift-a-Thon. Diaz squatted 525, but he told me he's going to do 550, Tony, so he lied to me. Anyway, Tim, this is one of the guys here, if I were to say one of the guys that's been the most supportive of our football program and our programs in general since I've been here. He's one of the guys that helps and coaches and one of the captains, Tim, on our fishing team, who finished third in the state this weekend.
That's right.
He can talk about that more, but Right now, Tony, I want you to talk a little bit about what's going on here at Clements, what's going on tonight, and what you got going on, and what you need, and what we can do to help you, man.
Well, first of all, I just want to say how excited I am that Coach Pugh has come to Clements and that he's going to be here with us for a while and lead these boys. And just really excited about having a young, energetic coach that's just going to bring a lot to Clements High School and to our coach football program. But along with that, we need our booster association to kind of rise to the top. And we've been pulling it along for a couple of years now, and it just hasn't rode up like we wanted it to, and so we're fixing to start fueling it. And so we just need a lot of support from the Clements community, from the parents, from grandparents, from former graduates and alumni. We just really need them to start pouring back into the Clements program.
Right, and like we said in there, man, Tim, it's not really money. We need them to help. We need help. We need hands. We need. I can do that. I can go get the help we need. We're not asking this organization to be one where you come in and drop in money. It's just a little bit to join up and get going, because you know what? Here's the deal. Everybody else has one and has a good one. Everybody else in the county. West has great support. So does East, and so does Ardmore with that quarterback club, which is wonderful. Athens has a great booster club, quarterback club, and Feed the Eagles is amazing that Cody Gross does. And we just want to be a little bit a part of that and have our kids something to be proud of.
That's right. We've been trying to get that going, and and I think about over the years the people that have played here on this field, and the coaches that have been here, and we owe all of them our best, to putting our best back onto this field and back into our community. You just think about all those guys that came through here that blood, sweat, and tears, and built this place into what it is today. But we want to just build it stronger, build it better, and it's like just to get it going to where it's just a natural thing, and it's like
right. And to make it clear, this is not a football exclusive nothing we're doing. See, buddy, this is not a football exclusive nothing. This is a encompasses all sports. We want to help them all. We want to make sure we're doing that, and we're going to do that. But it takes, like I said, takes help, takes encouragement, takes some more than two people to get this done.
Well, hey, we've had some pretty good teams here at Clements. Our girls basketball team has risen to the top, and they've been really good. We just want to keep carrying that on through baseball, through basketball, through soccer, through everything that we do. We want to support all of them.
That's right. We want to be the best at whatever it is. And like I said, man, I was very encouraged. We had 30-something girls try out for softball this time, which
that's amazing.
Jessica is here's what we've done. I mean, Jessica Wallace, our softball coach, is a Hall of Fame UNA catcher. Her assistants have played college ball, and I'm not saying playing college is a do-all, end-all, but it sure is a thing they can show these kids. Hey, man, I played college football. I've been there. I can show you how to get there, and that's another thing Coach Pugh brings to the table with some. And like Tim asked him, a great point is he's been around some good football minds in his life, and he's around some today here. So I'm really excited about this.
I'm really excited about it. And I want to say this about Coach Wallace and the softball. So we went down there and watched them practice a couple of times, and I was kind of amazed to see how she ran her practices. And it just the how intense it was, and it never stopped. And that's it's a great thing to see that you've got that kind of competition, that kind of level, just on the field there for those girls.
That's exactly right. Like I said, our baseball's growing, and what it takes playing. And you can't play the months that we play high school baseball, high school softball, or basketball and get any better. And like I tell everybody before, we're overloading it. But my daughter finished up last weekend in the regionals, and we play this weekend in Columbia. It's a grind, man. And we got basketball around the corner. We got volleyball. We're doing it all, and it's a great time to do it, man. Great place to be. And I was on the field because I really think, Tony, we live in a world today. If your son's not busy, daughter's not busy doing something, then they're going to be doing something that you don't want them to do.
Yeah, you fight that all the time, but you keep them active in sports, keep them active in school, after school curriculum, and those activities. We just keep that community going, man. And I know my son is he's extremely excited, just like I am, that Coach Pugh is here tonight, and he's going to be leading this program, and I can't wait. I can't wait to that first game.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm telling you, I told Tim before, I've got Samantha on it, and soon we're going to start doing some fundraisers with football exclusive, and soon we'll have a big fundraiser for our Clements Booster Association. We'll get that out there, but football, we're fixing to do Swamp Johns for football here soon, and Tony, that's always been a hit, man. It's always been a pretty good deal. I know you can't go wrong with shrimp, fish, or chicken from Swamp John's. Always pretty good.
Good stuff.
Tim, it's not Applebee's, but it's close, So,
well, I wish we did have a Swamp John's over here now.
I know, but when they bring it, God, it's good. It's really good. They do a good job. But like I said, man, I just urge you guys to get involved. And if you want to get involved helping Clements football or anything Clements, man, we'd love to have you. We'd love to have some ideas. And all you old people, like Tim said and Tony said, that played at Clements and went to Clements, you didn't have to play anything at Clements to be a supporter of Clements. And we want to keep that in mind. So I know Tony, finish it up, man, by how they can get in touch with you and how can they join up on this, man.
That's right. Well, we know school's winding down and people are going to be taking that opportunity to take a vacation week, but look, probably about the first week of June, second week of June, we're gonna announce a meeting for the Booster Association, and so you can get in touch with me by my phone number, which is 256-998-3234, or my email is tonyt.bama@gmail.com. And I'll also be posting on Facebook the meeting times, the location. We usually meet at Cafe 72. Give them a little plug. We meet down there with those fine people and have a little bit of a dinner or a little snack and get our meeting done. And so we'll be announcing that. But just be looking forward about the first week of June.
Thank you, Tony, man. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Well, let me ask you about your fishing coach.
Yes, sir.
How did the team do this year?
They did really well. We finished third in the state in the smallmouth division of Alabama High School. It's the Alabama Student Association, the Bass Fishing Association, and Student Anglers Bass Fishing Association. And it's like it usually starts in February and runs through May. And they're going to be changing it up this year. It's actually going to start in September and run through May. They're going to spread it out because that's what most big organizations do.
Okay.
And so my boy was a senior, and so him and his partner are going to be graduating out. And so we really need to pick up some guys there. We need a couple of boat captains. We need some anglers, and I know there's a lot of people around the Clements community that fish, and man, there just ain't nothing better than floating around out on the river and catching a smallmouth.
So do you do ice fishing during the wintertime?
Well, if we had enough ice around here, I'm sure we would.
Well, here comes the guy that's fixing to talk to you, Coach Bobby Earl Greene. He's a noodler. He can go in there and catch him catfish with his hands.
That's right. He dives right off in there.
But listen, man, these guys sure to do a lot of catfishing and fishing for bass fishing. Tim, we never have any fish fries down here. So I've been on them about that. So we got to get that going as well. I'm all about eating fish. I can't get up in the mornings to go do anything like these guys said, but I really enjoy it. Thanks, Tony, for all you do.
Thank you, guys.
We'll be right back after a message from our sponsors. Once again, you're at Applebee's Tailgate Talk. We're at the Clements High School Lift-a-Thon. Thank you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
When you're looking for something special for your next event, why not bring in the most amazingly fine flavored shaved ice this side of the islands? Kona Ice of Decatur and Athens. Whether it's a school or major sporting event, a picnic, or festival, Kona Ice brings the fun and laughter. From their steel drum music to their signature flavor wave, where guests can flavor their own shaved ice. No event is too big or too small. Kona Ice makes fundraising easy too. Call Kona Ice today and tell them what you have in mind. 256-566-5298. Or look for them on your favorite social media platform. Kona Ice of Decatur and Athens. 256-566-5298. Now on a platform near you, the only year-round weekly podcast covering the Huntsville Havoc, the Wreakin' Havoc Podcast. News, interviews, and more. Dropping every Thursday, we'll just reek of the Huntsville Havoc. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and listen, follow, and subscribe on your favorite platform via the PAS Plus app and online at wreakinhavoc.com.
Hey, this is Charles Morrison, varsity baseball coach with Lindsay Lane Christian Academy, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. Clements Lift-a-Thon here on Thursday night, man, at Clements High School, MT Newman Stadium. Getting to the end, we're getting to the power cleans, which means we've done bench, we've done squat. We should be in this for a few more minutes, and we should be good to go, and good to go home here in a few minutes. So, real quickly, it's glad we have all the people to come out. Glad we have the support of all you guys. But here's something I'm so glad to talk to, and so glad we got here, and so glad to get him. And I told the parents earlier today, since I've been in coaching, since I've been around, since I've been a kid, I think I met this guy when I was back in 8th grade when me and his wife were office aides at Athens Middle School for Coach Azzarella. And that's when I first met him, man. That was 83, well, Coach, 84, 82, somewhere in there. But, man, we're so blessed to have this guy who knows a lot about football, who's one of the, in my opinion, one of the best defensive guys around, Coach Bobby Earl Greene. Coach, thank you for joining me and Tim on the Applebee's Tailgate Talk, Clements edition of Lift-a-Thon.
Glad to be here. I told that, it's been a while since I've been on.
I wonder what's been going on, man. Tim's been having everybody else on, but
I know, everybody but me.
You can ask him that.
I must eat. When we'd actually go to Applebee's, I must eat too much or something when they bring us.
When he would come on all the time, that's when he was at Tanner.
That's right.
And Coach White used to get him to fill in for him a lot.
That's right.
And I think I filled in for Jeff maybe once or twice when I was at East Limestone.
That too. So that's awesome. you were kind of the backup guy, and
he ain't that no more. I mean, you can have him on every time, but I'm just going to tell you, he's going to eat every one of those, as Bama Zach calls them, mozzarella sticks. They got. Oh man! But Coach, you've been around several of them, and Coach Greene, me and you've been in the same boat with this guy. We've known him for a long time, and like I said, I told the people when we hired him, I said I got a great guy here with him that can help. And Bobby Earl's always been a calm in mind, and while stuff's going crazy on that football field, that's one thing I admire about you, man, is you've always been able to keep a level head and keep it rolling and keep it going. So, how are you feeling?
Somebody's got to, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
No, I'm actually excited about it. I think Brick was the perfect choice. If I would have been on the committee, I wouldn't. But if I would have been on it, he would have been my choice too. I'm excited about it. He's young and energetic. He'll bring a lot of energy to the program, which is what we need. We need a young guy.
That's right. I mean, and like I said, man, it's a game where everybody tells me it's a young man's game. No, it kind of sort of is, but you need the older guys to show the younger. Coach, when me and you got into coaching at Tanner High School, when we were there in the early 90s, we were there early every day. We made the water every day. We carried the water on the field every day. We took kids home. We drove them home in our own cars. We fed them when we had to. They don't know how to work like that no more. It's like, you see that when you're teaching school, the young teachers, they don't have a work ethic like we did, but seeing you do it, seeing how you work and how you grind helps our younger guys.
Well, it's good, be in the position of being a mentor, I guess, in some ways. I try to set a good example on how to do things. Been around. We've been around a long time.
That's right. And seen a lot of you especially seen a lot of good football, man. We've seen a lot of good football through our years at Tanner and East. We had some good kids, and we're getting there here, and we're both Alabama fans. That means we've seen a lot of good football.
A lot of good football. Well, that was one of the things that led me here. I had a chance to go to a couple other places, and last year after I talked to you and watched some game film, and then I saw guys that could play football.
That's right.
And I like the small school atmosphere type. We're gonna have people in the stands no matter what our record is. We're gonna have people here, and they support our kids good. We just want to win more.
That's exactly right.
We were 5-5 last year and missed out on the playoffs. Should have been in the should have. But there was a couple of games that got away from us that we should have won. So I'm not satisfied with 5-5.
That's right. That's right. Like you said, man, I think this right here is where it starts. So, man, when you put an emphasis on a tough off season and making it simple, and that's what people don't understand is when I first got here, it wasn't simple. It was difficult. It was hard to understand. And now that especially the way you do it, it's always kept it simple and kept it easy and kept it aggressive. It's how you win football games, man. When you play wide open, you can win a lot of games, and I think it's what you're doing here, doing a good job with that.
Well, I appreciate it. I think the less when you put them in positions where they have to think the least, the more aggressive you'll be.
That's right.
And so if you get them thinking too much, then that's the problem. They're thinking too much instead of just seeing stuff and reacting to it.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, keep it simple, stupid. I mean, we got guys that has to play both sides all the time. If we could, have 11, 12, 15 guys that just played defense or 15 guys that just played offense, then you could probably do different things.
Yeah.
Because that's all you would do. You'd have your defensive staff and you'd have the offensive staff. But that's the one good thing I like about small schools. You do everything.
That's right.
And it's hard. And it's hard to be complicated when you got guys that's got to learn both sides of football. It's tough.
That's exactly right, man. And like I said, though, man, I'm so excited about this summer, about getting it started, and it's coming here in about a week. Next week we'll start to get rolling. But B, I ain't told you about this or Tim, but man, we did a week out here with the middle school kids, and man, it was 25 to 35 somewhere in there every day. Young dudes that are getting after it. And heck, most of them are here tonight. They're here in front of us, and they need a summer. And we got some good dudes. I think Addison and Coach Mosley and Coach Allen do a good job getting these guys ready to play. And we'll play a full schedule. I wish we could play 12 middle school games, but we can only play 8. So we're going to be ready to play middle school as well here at Clements. And man, like I said before, man, I'm so pumped about it, and so glad to have you here.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here.
I can't tell you that anymore. So,
well, I know I get asked a lot. Well, how do you like it at Clements? And I say I love it. I love it. Great kids, and you can't ask more support from you and the rest of the administration and stuff that we get. And it's been great so far. It's just only been a year, but it seems like I've been here longer.
Oh, it does. And you mentioned being offered, by 2 or 3 other schools, and I was going to ask you, what was it? I mean, you've been here at Clements now, so you've seen how it is, but what was it about Clements that said, I'm going to go with him?
I don't know, because I had, I actually, until he'd retired, I had the opportunity to go to Sparkman and be back with Coach White and the rest of the Tanner crew up there.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the way I was leaning, but I don't know. There was just something, and this is the honest truth, something that just kept drawing me here.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, and I kept thinking about it, and I thought about it a while, and I don't know. It was just something about that was saying, you need to go to Clements.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And I finally, I came, and after this was after I talked to Clint, and I hadn't at the time had not talked to Coach Parker yet. And so I wanted, he and I needed to talk, so I wanted to talk to him too. And after I left talking with him, I knew then. This is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And like I say, I don't know what was drawing me here really. I just know because I knew a lot of the kids already. Because teaching at tech school, I get kids from all over the county, and I had several of the football players already in class. I already knew several of them. And I knew most of the some of the coaches and stuff that was already on the staff, and it just made it easy transition.
Yeah. Well, you've been here for a year, and I asked Coach Pugh what his impression was. Of course, he hadn't been here, but 2 days? But what's your impression with the team you got coming up?
I think and I had talked to him, Coach Pugh, before they finally made the decision, whatever took so long. And I talked to him, and I told him, I said, we got potential to be pretty good, and I think it's there. We just got to get it out of them.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we got to do is to install to them a winning mentality that's what we've been lacking a little bit.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I'm here. I think we can win.
Here's the deal too, man. When you hear the word, you always hear in the county, they always ask me this question. They ever thought about consolidating high schools? And man, it goes back to this. Coach Greene is a Tanner graduate. I was at Tanner for a short period of time, but man, when I was here, we knew everybody from Clements, and they knew from Tanner, and they knew Clements guys. The only two places that can coexist and get along in this county, in my opinion, is Clements and Tanner. Because it's family, it's the same kind of kid. And it's a close, we got a close community here. They do, but man, we're welcome there anytime, and so are they here. And it's the only place I think Coach Greene could ever get along.
Yeah, you probably say maybe what pulled me here. The same thing, being a Tanner man.
That's right. And like I said, man, we sure are glad to have you here, man.
It.
Glad for you to be here. Looking forward to this season. As Coach Bobby Earl Greene, defensive coordinator of the Clements Colts. We'll be right back in just a second. Thank you.
You can help Limestone County student-athletes by donating to the Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship. Send it in care of Garth Garris, 13833 Pinnacle Drive, Athens, Alabama, 35613, or make it in person at First State Bank of the South at 1319 Highway 72 East in Athens. We'll be back with Tailgate Talk after this.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
For screen printing, sign printing, banners, logo design, and more, look no further than That Shirt Printing Place. Located at 709 North Jefferson Street in Athens. Call 256-444-1827. That Shirt Printing Place. Visit them online at thatshirtprintingplacellc.com. Look for them on Facebook too. That Shirt Printing Place. 256-444-1927. That Shirt Printing Place.
Coming this fall to a podcast platform near you. The Wingmen.
There's someone on the wing. Something.
Join us live every week this football season as Kirk Pierce, Johnny Johnson, and Brad Kimbrough talk James Clemens sports with coaches, players, and other special guests. The Wingmen.
We're winging it, Jerry.
Coming this fall on your favorite platform via the PAS Plus app on your Alexa device by saying Open PAS Plus and online at jcwingmen.net.
Hi, this is Brian Cunningham, former kicker for the Alabama Crimson Tide, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. Clements Lift-a-Thon. Close to the end, Tim. We were down to the cleans, as we said before, which is the last lift we're doing. Very impressed with some of these guys, man. Like they said, man, they've really worked hard here for the last month or so. Well, since Christmas, really, but we really turned it up a little bit in the last couple months. I've been really proud of these guys and what they've been doing, and what's going on here is huge. You know, instrumental. We got Coach Pugh here now, and we're looking forward to this season. And a guy that's been here with me, man. He's been at Clements. He's been here at Clements his whole educational career, and he's back here with us. He's the reason the field looks good. He's the reason. I mean, it looks great out here. I think our field's the best field around, and he's not going to give you the secret to it, so don't call and ask him. We're going to keep that a secret for us because we want the best field around. But it's football knowledge. I told him in there. He's played high school football. He's played college football. He knows it. Son was a great player for us here at Clements. Now he's down at Troy playing football, and man, I wouldn't want to do this without him. And it's been really a pleasure of mine to be back here at Clements High School to be a principal, but it's also been a real pleasure of mine to hook back up with a guy that I consider one of my best friends, and also happens to be one of our football coaches and one of our volunteer football coaches, Coach John Moore. John, glad to have you on the Tailgate Talk, man.
Hey, it's good to be here. Really is.
So tell them, man, we've been sitting over here. Tell me and Tim what's been going. How's it been looking? How's that been going over there?
Well, I hadn't seen these guys probably in 2 or 3 months, and I'm surprised that I see a physical change in a lot of the bigger guys, especially the line. And it's amazing that they are moving the amount of weight they're moving today. It's kind of surprising. We did lose 4 out of the 5 starters from last year's squad, so in my mind, I'm thinking we're going to be at a rebuilding year, especially on both sides of the line. But that may not be the case next year. We got some strong kids that are really showing off today.
Yeah, man, really pleased with. Man, we've been coming 6:30 in the morning. Everybody's been here. Everybody's been working hard, and like you said, man, it's a definite correlation between how much you put in right here and how much you're going to put in out there on that football field. It's 100% that. But I've been really pleased with that too. So, man, I mean, what else, man? What do you feel like going forward? We didn't get a chance to have spring. We didn't get to have a chance to have that. But we'll be working this summer and getting ready for Lexington. So,
well, we certainly got our backs against the wall going into next fall with not being able to have a spring, any type of spring this time. Plus, of course, we got Coach Pugh in, kind of a change of the helm, and going to be a whole new different offense and how we go about things. So, evaluating personnel is going to be key in putting the kids in the right spots, and Coach Pugh's got a real good knack for that. He played quarterback. He's been around football all his life, so we got all the confidence in the world in him to be able to put together a team that's going to be competitive, going to be tough. That never quit attitude, something that. We may have been missing that a little bit here over the past few years, just a whole new different mindset. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited what Coach P is going to do and putting the rest of his staff together. And these kids are very excited. I've not seen this kind of excitement in a few years. So things are really looking good right now.
Man, like you said, though, man, Coach is coming in with I told everybody that would listen to me, man, it's a good staff here, man. We got, Coach Greene, and I would say you and Coach Greene are the elder statesmen here. A lot of football knowledge with the both of you guys, and that's the good thing about our volunteers is, man, when I look for volunteers in football, I look for football guys or guys that are getting started that want to learn and want to do and want to get out here, and that's what I get with you and Coach Greene, all these other guys, man. They're high energy guys and pushing our kids to get better and better every day. And man, I'm so excited about this and what's going down, man.
Well, I know from my aspect, I'm a graduate here at Clements and have lived in this community all of my life, and it's just an honor and a privilege that I get the opportunity to work with these kids. My son finished last year, and I wanted to stay on and just be a part of the community. I love this community, love the school, love the people here. We just kind of a tight-knit community here, and we want to see football as well as the community and the school excel in everything that we do. So it's just it keeps me young, it keeps me active. Great kids, and I'm looking forward to this season.
Absolutely, man. I can't wait to get started. I wish we were getting started soon. We need all summer. But like I said, man, it's really, really important, John. Tony was here talking about the booster organization, and to me, man, it's more than money. It's more than here's you a check. All they're wanting is money. No, we've never said we wanted money. We need people out to give us a hand to help us do things.
Well, it's really not about the money piece of it. It's the time, and you're going to spend your time doing the things that you care about and the things that mean something to you. So, money aside, it's more how much time do you want to spend down here? How much time do you want to invest in not just the community, but these kids' lives and their future and what they're going to become, not just on the football field, but what they're going to become in life, outside, off the field, in the classroom, in the community, being an example for the community. That's what we're looking for.
That's right, man. And like this, man, all my friends that I still talk to, we've made friendships out here on this field that's lasted a lifetime, man. I feel like I can call you and we can call me and the other guys we play with here, and they'll do anything in the world for us. And that's what people need to understand. Football builds lifetime relationships, man.
That's right.
That's what it is.
That's right. I was just telling one of our seniors to be just a few minutes ago. I said, dude, this is your last time around in high school sports. And I promise you're going to miss it for the rest of your life, because I do. And it's been a number of years since I put the pads on and strapped it up. So you just gotta savor every minute of it, enjoy it, because one day it's all over for everybody playing the game of football. So
that's right, man. But John, man, I can't tell you. I mean, I speak for me, and I love bragging on you, but you do so much for Clements and the school, and you don't have to, and you do, and we really appreciate it and appreciate how good this field looks and all that you do to help Clements. And man, I'm looking forward to this year and the years to come with you guys, all the coaches we got, you, Coach Pugh, and all of them. Man, it's going to be a great year, and I appreciate all you do for us, man. Thank you for being on with us.
You're welcome. I just, like I said, it's an honor to be able to support you, the school that you went to, and I'll be down here as long as y'all let me.
Awesome. Thank you, brother.
All right.
I'll see you. Thank you, guys. We'll be right back. We got a couple of guys coming on, a couple of players. We'll be right back. Applebee's Tailgate Talk at Clements Lift-a-Thon. Thank you.
Missed part of this week's show? Archives are available on our website. You can also hear us on your favorite podcast platform, including iTunes, Google, Amazon, and more. Just check out the podcast page at tailgatetalk.net for a list of available apps and links. We'll be back with more of Applebee's Tailgate Talk after this.
While others have come and gone, the Lions Den Gym has been roaring as a workout and exercise fixture in Athens, growing from its humble basement beginnings in 1981 to their current 10,000 square foot location at 212 Commercial Drive in Athens. The Lions Den offers 24/7 access to their ever-expanding equipment collection that includes treadmills and climbers, elliptical trainers, stationary bikes, loose weights and dumbbells, and over 45 different weight machines. Contact the Lions Den Gym about a membership today at 256-652-2627. Visit them online at lionsdengym.com or on Facebook. The Lions Den Gym, 256-652-2627. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
Takes a snap. He's rolling to his left. He's looking downfield. He's looking in the end zone. He throws a jump ball. It's complete. Touchdown, Golden Eagles.
Join us this coming season for Athens High School football. Greg Young will bring you all the exciting play-by-play online at WKAC1080.com or on your WKAC Sports app. You can also hear it on your Amazon Echo or Google Home device by saying Play WKAC Sports. Listen for the radio replays Saturdays at noon and check out the archives on the WKAC Sports page. Golden Eagle football from 1080 WKAC.
This is Shelby Davis, West Limestone head football coach, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk at Clements Lift-a-Thon. As we see, we got our varsity guys concluded. Our middle school guys are on it. And before we go any further, man, I'd like to say a special thank you to Tim Lambert. Thank you for coming out. You didn't have to do this, but WKAC and Applebee's Tailgate Talk is always doing big things for our athletics here in Limestone County and surrounding area. And once again, you've done it again, outdid it, Tim. And I can't tell you how much I'm thankful, how much I appreciate all you do for sports here, and especially for Clements High School. We're going to wind this thing up, and we're going to get out of here. I want to talk, first of all, with the player's perspective here. I've got with me here, Tim, this is Jake Fleming. Jake, you're going you'll be a junior this year, right, Jake?
Yes, sir. I'll be a junior.
Jake's a junior for us. Jake plays basketball, plays football for us here, a dual sport athlete. Like I said, man, Jake's got a legacy here too. Tim, Jake's granddaddy, Spencer Black, who's done more probably for the Clements community than anybody in this world. And he's got a lot to live up to, and he's got a lot to live against. And he can't help it that Jason Black's also his uncle. And I apologize to people about that. And his mom, Samantha Fleming's a big supporter of us and helps us in everything we do. But just want a couple of questions, Jake, to wind this up, man. And I brought you over here because of how hard you've been working here since the last few months. But what are you looking most forward to this up and coming season here at Clements?
I'm really hoping to finally bring a winning season to Clements High School this upcoming year, and that's really what I'm aiming for this year at Clements, just to bring a winning season.
That's right, Jake. I mean, and what I'm saying is you're going to get what you put in that weight room is what you're going to get out of it. And like I said, right now, I mean, you started. I mean, what did we clean? What did you get tonight on the power clean there?
235.
That's good. I mean, you started under 200 pounds in a short period of time, Tim. He's already increased it about 35 pounds. So the work this summer is going to get it up. And you weigh how much now, Jake?
215 pounds.
About 215. I knew you gained some weight, and that's really, it's not. I'm not saying it's about gaining weight because I've gained a lot of weight, but it's McDonald's Big Mac's weight and Applebee's mozzarella sticks weight. But you've gained productive weight, man. And like I said, have you got to talk to Coach Pugh a lot briefly, or what?
Yeah, we've had a couple conversations while I was lifting. Asked him how he was doing. He asked me how I was doing. We had a good conversation.
But like I said, man, I'm looking forward to Coach Pugh, not much older than you guys, being able to talk to him and share your thoughts with him. And we're sure excited. And Jake could tell you, and I'm going to let him tell you this too. We need people to fill these stands this fall. We need you to come out and watch us. And we're going to play a lot better here at MTNM when everybody's here. Right, Jake?
Well, now, how much can you do at this time of the year? I mean, you're going through a coaching change.
Yes, sir.
I mean, how does that mess with your mind?
Well, man, we can do a lot. Installing his offense, and the defense is already installed, but repping it this summer, you can do that with helmets on after you lift every day. That's legal by the state of Alabama. It's one of the only good things they do. Everybody else around us can go scrimmage before the season, but we can't do that. And I'm sounding like Rush Probe, so I'll shut that up. But like I said, man, we're behind, but we'll catch up. We just got to have leaders like Jake to get these guys here and make sure they're here.
Yes, sir.
But Tim, we really appreciate you, dude. And you got any more for Jake? Are we good? Jake, thanks for being here. Tim, thank you for being here. And people, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you. Have a great evening.
You've been listening to the best of Tailgate Talk. You can hear the archive of this and other shows online at tailgatetalk.net. Join us next Saturday at 10 a.m. Applebee's Tailgate Talk is a production of Play Action Sports on 1080 WKAC.